What else do I want to look at? TRVL. Go straight to TRVL. My obsession. I had some thoughts about TRVL actually. Hi. I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes, like 1 minute, and then I'm gonna go into TRVL, and I have some ideas about TRVL, and we're gonna take some time to break down those ideas. So when I'm back, get ready. Back in 2 minutes, then I'm going to deep dive into yeah. All right, I'm back. I'm really liking the gate chart actually for different reasons, but I was looking at the Elliott waves yesterday, and I was trying to see if I could see where we are. Get rid of these. So I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking maybe from the all-time low to here was wave one. And then we had a ABC correction. That's an ABC. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm contemplating that thought. And this crazy push up was our wave three. Just that one candle was our wave three. I'm really playing with that idea right now because I'll explain why in a second. So let me draw it out for you, and tell me what you think. So from the all-time low to 3.5 cents, I'm saying that maybe that was our wave one. And remember, this is wave one of one. This is like every bullish impulsive wave has 5 waves. This was impulsive. Like if you look at it, if you look at with the way the price went, I would have preferred more volume, but okay, whatever. You just take it as it comes. This is quite impulsive. Are there 5 waves in this one? Yeah, potentially. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very bullish. This whole wave is a bullish wave. And then you have this super long corrective 2. It's very different to the bullish wave 1. It's a very long corrective wave 2, and it's like A, B, C, with the C being very like a bullish accumulation. And the reason why I think possibly that this could be the 2 is because, I'll explain. If you do a trend-based fib, so you can do trend-based fibs, the best way to do it, or the right way to do it, is from the 0 to the 1 to the 2. Where does the 2 start? It's very subjective. Does it start here? I would say probably here, huh? This bullish low here. Even though you have lower lows, maybe the one that impulsed up. Then when you draw that, look at the extension. Look how far the 3 got to. Let me see. So this is the hourly time frame, going back down to the 30-minute time frame. So this is on the Elliott wave that I've just drawn now. And look at that. Look at that. This is why I'm thinking the 1.618. That. So the 1.618 on a trend-based fib extension from the 0, which is the all-time low, to the 1, which was the high of the first move, to the 2, which is the low of the impulse, took us all the way to the 1.618. I like that. I like that behavior. I like that. I like the 1.618. It's really nice. So I don't know if I expected that to happen, but now that I look at it, it does make sense. It happened very fast, and I don't know if many people could have predicted that. And I think certain people did take profit, and well done. But that was really impulsive. It was a very impulsive move. Now on the you can only really see the impulse on a lower time frame. Like, this is impulsive on the lower time frame. This is very impulsive. On the higher time frame, it's just like up and down. Can't really see it. But I mean, I don't like looking at 5-minute charts, but when you look at the 5-minute chart, that is very impulsive. And so technically what you're looking for in an impulsive move are 5 waves. Do we get that? it's harder. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Whatever we got or we get, the point is, and that this, what's interesting for me is that we got up to the 1.618 of this 0 to 1 to 2. 0 to 1 to 2. We got to the 1.618. So according to Elliott waves, the 4 cannot come underneath the 1. The 4 cannot come underneath the 1. So if we are at the 4 now, for this to be valid, it has to hold here. And it looks like it's holding. I can't tell you if it is or if it isn't, but it does look like it is. It looks like it's trying to hold. And as time passes, it will hold. The longer it will hold, as time passes, as it holds, it will hold. Does that make sense? So we just need time to pass, and the longer it holds, the more it will hold. If it was going to go through this level, it would have gone already. That's my point. So we are at a really significant level, and it would confirm the back test of this one for a wave 4. Now, corrective moves are always, not always, but usually always ABC moves. I don't really, I mean, it's really hard. It's not easy to, like, look at this. How do you how do you do an ABC on this pattern? And this is a very illiquid environment with a lower time frame. It's not easy to do an ABC on that, but I think what we're trying to form now is a 4. And I don't know. Now, what I don't know is this. I don't know if we kind of go up to do an A. So maybe, look, so if this was the 3, what are these lines? Oh, they're the fib lines. Okay. So we've got these fib lines now. This is our extension. It went to the 1.618. We're back to test the 1 to form the 4, and we're looking for an ABC correction. It is possible that we correct like this, and I don't know how this is going to correct, but it is possible. So you have the golden pocket there, and you'll have the golden pocket here, something like that. Correction like this. It is possible that we form some kind of higher time frame correction here. I don't know if it's going to be back down to the 4 or if it's going to form some kind of triangle like structure here. But I do think that potentially we are at the 4 now. And we have to see, as long as this holds. If this holds, I think this is the 4. And then when you do that, you can then project the next move, because what was interesting was this 1.618. So now what you can do is you can go, okay, well, look, if that was the 1.618 and we got up to the 1.618 and we came back to create the 4, so maybe we can do the same thing on the 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? So let's do that. Let's do a trend based fib on the 2, 3, 4. Exactly what I did before. So where the bullish move began, which level did I take? I can't remember because what level I took was correct. Sometimes forget. Which level was it? What candle was it? Oh, it was that candle. It was the 12-hour candle. Okay, good. Fine. Get rid of that. I'll use the 12-hour candle then. So if we do a trend base, so that's the 2, that's the 3, and that's the 4. That makes sense? Did anyone get that? So our 1.618 now is, did I do that right? No. It's higher. It's higher. So on gate, it only went to 8.5. So actually, look, this is the thing about exchanges. They are different. So on gate, I have it going up. On other exchanges, it went higher. But basically, what I'm looking at now is potentially... Is that right? So I've done it from this pivot low. Should it be from this low? Don't think so. Don't think so. Because we went to the 1.618 before, why wouldn't we go back up to the 1.618 again? For a wave 5. That's what I'm thinking, actually. And that would then complete our wave 1. And I don't know when it's going to happen. Of course, I don't like it to happen. I don't want it to be fast and too fast. So people like, oh my God, what happened? But potentially this is what we're experiencing now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with our 5 targets being on gate, the 1.618 being at 0.17789. And then the other thing you can do is if you look at the levels and see if there's any confluence. That's why I did the levels for us on that long stream. And hey presto, look what you have. You have a weekly level at the 1.618. You have a liquidity level at that level. Look at that right there. Imagine that. Is there anything else? Let me see volume levels. Also, a smidge above it, we have a value area high at 18.6. See that? I could probably redo that because there's new volume coming in. And there is something else. There's a pitchfork that I was tracking in a previous stream, and look at that. Look where the pitchfork comes in. The midpoint of the pitchfork also lines up too. It's quite interesting, huh? There's a lot of lines to look at on my chart, so I don't want to kind of confuse you, but the area of interest is here, from the 4 to the 5. Because that's the 1.618, and the idea that I have in my mind is that, let me get rid of those higher levels now. The idea that I have in my mind is that because from the 0 to the 1 to the 2, because we went to the 1.618 to the 3, then maybe we're also going to go to the 1.618 to the 5. That's the idea I have about the price action going up. Does that make sense? And it does correspond with some key levels in the past on gate. So if you've got this, this is a higher time frame pitchfork that I've got. You really need to have it on the weekly time frame to see what I'm seeing. And if you plot it on the weekly time frame, you will take it from the first significant all-time low to the first relief rally high to the all-time low. That's your pitchfork. And if we've just created a 3 of the wave 1 and we're now forming a 4, we're looking for an ABC correction of the 4, then potentially on the wave 5 we're going to expand all the way up to the midpoint of the pitchfork, which will also correspond with the 1.618, roughly about, on gate it says 18 cents, but I think that the level is about between 18, 19, 20. So I think the thing about these levels is they're in a low liquidity environment, there's zones, they're not like specific numbers. So you have to see these as zones. Now, I don't want people to market sell, but I do think that if you're going to place limit orders, then this is gate. I'm going to do the same thing on KuCoin actually, because KuCoin is showing a little bit more volume, and I'm interested to see what numbers come on KuCoin. So the other thing that's really interesting about this chart is that if we do what potentially could happen, which is what I'm saying could happen, I don't know if it will, if it does do this, or if it does do something else, who knows? You know, we don't really know what could happen, but if it does do what I'm saying could happen, then that would confirm a higher high, which is what we want to do. That's really important, because I've been saying this for a while. We need to make a weekly higher high, and that would give us our higher high on the weekly time frame. Really important. I don't see why that would not happen, because that's going to happen eventually. That's going to happen, and that would make sense. So we make our weekly high somewhere, and then we're looking for potentially a correction. Now, there's people, like, corrections don't have to be deep, they can be long. Like, I think people need to understand this. People have this kind of anticipation, market sell, market sell, market sell. No, it's not necessary. You can scale out, you can also scale in. You know, you don't have to market sell. If you place limit orders, the volume will fill your orders. So that's what I'm suggesting. If we do that, then I think the next level to defend potentially will be 9 cents. And I don't know how that's going to form. I don't know. And again, a lot of the time you have to imagine this. This is like best case scenario. Volume changes everything. So, you know, like if suddenly, I mean, who knows, like if suddenly someone trigger fingered buy with a crazy amount of capital, then everything changes. You know, like I can't predict that. I can't tell you that that's going to happen. I can't tell you that will happen or won't happen. I'm just saying that changes everything. It's just like black swans. It changes everything. That's almost a black swan. If someone does something out of the usual, out of ordinary, or out of the unexpected. But I think that is kind of what I'm thinking about right now. You look at KuCoin, and I'll try and see if I can create the same idea on KuCoin, because I think a lot of people are using KuCoin now. Maybe I should just get rid of my drawings on KuCoin as well. Let me just do that. So on KuCoin, yeah. If we have the same idea, we're looking for yep. Let me just do it on the Elliott waves first. So I have it mapped out. It's not. This is what I'm saying. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially. So if you do a trend-based fib extension, see, KuCoin didn't get to the 1.618. That's the thing. The charts are saying slightly different things. See, it's very kind of subjective, because if you take KuCoin to this pivot low here, no, it's like, which one do you take? You take this one. That would be 1.618. But I don't think that's right. That's the impulse. In KuCoin, it takes it to the 1.4147. Sorry, the 1.414. That's why I like Gate more. So let's just say on this basis, you on KuCoin, you're doing on the 1.414. Then the idea is the same thing. So we're going to delete that now. And if this was the wave See, it doesn't line up because this would then say 16 cents. 16 cents. But actually I'm thinking 1.618. That's what I'm thinking, 1.618, which would bring us here closer to 20 cents. That's what I'm actually thinking. I'm thinking more 20 cents. Between 18 to 20 cents, probably 19 to 20 cents. I'm thinking. And this is the thing, like, would that be correct in terms of Elliott waves? Yes, it would be correct because the 3 can't be the shortest, and it isn't the shortest because at the moment 3 is already longer than the 1. The 4 can't come back underneath the 1. Well, look, I think possibly, and maybe that's the problem. You see, maybe that wick is incorrect. Maybe, see, that's the problem with low liquidity charting, is that sometimes the price overextends because of the liquidity. It's not correct representation of what's happening, and so it's sometimes it's not 100% accurate. The more liquidity you have, the more volume you have, the more accurate it becomes, because technically you can't come underneath this 1 and already it looks like we are. So therefore, is this wrong? No, not necessarily, because maybe this overextended too much, and clearly this candle was wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing actually. I think this candle just represents in a liquid environment. It shouldn't have gone up that far, and it doesn't mean anything because it looks like it made a higher high, but it really didn't. That's what I was like thinking about that later. So I think actually charting on gate is better. Let me have a look at, would I do Bybit as well? I'll try Bybit. Let me try on Bybit. So we're gonna go there to there to there. That gets way past 1.618. Let's see that. I'm thinking 1.618. That's what I'm thinking. So if you do that on KuCoin at 1.618, then you're thinking potentially from there to there to there. I'm looking at about 19, like there, like 19.8, like 20 cents for 1.618. That will be the wave 5. I don't know how it would reach there. I don't know. I can't say how fast or slow. And I think that would make sense in the higher time frame, because if we do manage to get up there, make a higher high, then we'd be looking for a higher low, and we actually be looking at a really bullish inverse head and shoulders pattern. And we'll have to see how deep this right shoulder looks to form that pattern, but that would make sense. And maybe then the level for bulls to defend is going to be the 9 cents level. Once we clear it, we have to defend it. And so clearly the idea would be to skim from the top and compound the low. That would be the idea. And we'd form this really bullish higher time frame inverse head and shoulders. And so if that was to happen the way I potentially could see it, so it's interesting that 1.618 is starting to play a role in this chart. And so if, let's go back to gate, because I think I prefer gate, and for many reasons I prefer gate. Look at the 3-day chart. You see how the 3-day chart on the candle, it closed above this It closed above this previous level here. See that? So that's not bad. That's giving us an indication of something. And so that's why I think this wick is probably rubbish. This wick is probably pointless. It's Hi Marve, how's it going? BTC is getting an uptrend when the volumes rise. So yeah, so okay, so look, so let's do this again. So this is what I'm thinking. We have this is our wave one. And then we have to see how this looks. So let me change that color. So potentially that's our wave one. Okay. Potentially. If we do expand again on the wave 5 to the 1.618 on this trend base, and we hold this, and this is we are correcting the wave 4 now above this previous high, which was the wave 1, then I'm thinking that's the wave 1 complete, right? It's not crazy impulsive, but it's a start. You know, these things sometimes take time. And then how would you go about plotting the two? If that really is the one, how would you plot the two? Well, this is good, because then what you would do is you'd look at a fib retracement. You'd go all the way from the 1, from the 0 to the 1. We'd have to see how far this one extends. And I sometimes think that, look, at the moment I've got it at 18 cents, but maybe it goes higher. I don't know how high it goes. And we have to see how far, how bullish it gets at those highs. Does it go to 20? Does it go to 19? Does it go to 18? You know, we don't know how impulsive it's going to be, how bullish it's going to be, how much volume is going to come. I'm just thinking to myself, and it also depends on how when it happens, because you have this kind of like this midpoint of this pitchfork, which is acting as a guide. So let's just say it goes up to, for the sake of argument, 19 or 20 there. And then when you do this fib retracement from the 0 to the 1, the fib retracement puts you back into the golden pocket. See that? Which lands you at 9 cents. Which would actually make sense. It would make a lot of sense for this to play out this way. I'm not saying it is going to happen, but I think once we break 9 cents, then what you want is for people to defend 9 cents. That's the level to break, and that's the level to hold. And that would be a higher time frame wave 2 complete, and it would also land, just make sure this is the, oh god, it's not log, that sucks. All right, my bad, my bad. So it isn't, no, it isn't the golden pocket. My apologies for that, incorrect. So if we do a full fib on the log, it would be the 382. A 382 would be what you're looking for, somewhere at 9 cents. Or, I mean, or potentially, I mean, that you want, potentially, what you want is, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, no one really knows, but I think it would make sense for us to go up and then come back down, and that, you know, this 2 wave is a ABC corrective move. And the thing is, this is the thing, like, who knows about the correction? No one really knows. Like, everyone thinks corrections have to be deep and down, but they don't have to be deep and down. They can be flat. Corrections can be flat. They don't have to go down. And we don't know how that's going to correct. No one knows how anything's going to correct, and no one knows how anything is going to be impulsive. Was I expecting this kind of impulse? No, I wasn't expecting this kind of impulse. If it comes, it comes, and you just have to go with it and see, and then you have to try and decipher the next targets and the next ranges. And so ultimately, potentially, what I'm thinking of is, this is the 9, once you cross 9 cents, you really do want to defend it. So worst case scenario, you defend 9 cents. Now it could, if it's defended well, then the price won't get to 9 cents. It'll get, because it'll be more bullish, and that's the point. If it's defended well, it becomes more bullish. But I think you do want to defend 9 cents, and then obviously the 9 cents is a range. Everything is a range, you know, these lines, because in a low liquidity environment, it's not to the dollar. So what you would be thinking then is, that's your higher low, you're looking for, sorry, that's your higher high, now you're looking for a higher low. That's what you're trading. You're trading the ABC correction into the higher time frame 2 for a higher low on the weekly time frame, to change market structure on the weekly time frame to bullish. That's your trade. That's your plan. And that's what we'll be aiming for. And if it's more bullish, and this is the thing, I don't know how bullish this wave 5 is going to be, because there's a lot of big things coming out soon, and they haven't even released the tokenomics plan yet. But you also have the AI search engine and the wallet as a service. So there's a lot of things coming. I don't know, like, I was thinking it would be good if we could, on the wave 1, get up to the golden pocket. But you see, the golden pocket would put us above. See, that would be more bullish if we have a more expansive wave 5 like that. And it would still work, because when you do your trend-based fibs, well, look, it's not the 1.618 now, it's the next one, you know, the 2. it still works. It's not wrong just because it's not on the 1.618. It's just more bullish. It's just more expansive. I was thinking it would be better if we get a little bit more bullish. And the reason why is like you want to take the liquidity, and it's also about taking liquidity as you go up, which requires volume to pass through those levels. So that's why I think it would be good to like test the golden pocket, go into the golden pocket, take the liquidity of the golden pocket, so that the next time you attempt to go through the golden pocket, it'll be easier. There'll be less liquidity, so the next time it attempts to go through, it won't be such a problem. And then this correction, it might come down, but it doesn't necessarily have to come down all the way down to 9 cents. And so it could be just to back test the 50%, you know, and then this pitchfork is actually irrelevant. It's just an idea of what could happen. It doesn't mean anything. You can't trade it. It just gives you an indication. I do think though, if we are holding this level now, then this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in terms of the behavior, because the 3 is already more expansive than the 1, the 5 can be as long as it wants. The 5, there's no limits on the 5 now. That's good. We don't want limitations on the 5. If the 3 happens to be shorter than the 1, then we would be in a bit of trouble, because then the 5 couldn't be longer than the 3. But we don't have that restriction now. So because the 3 is longer than the 1, as long as the price holds above the 1 now to form a 4, then the expansion now to the to the end of the first wave, which is the 5, can be expansive. It can be really crazy expansive. And so I think it would make sense at about 20 cents. And I think best case scenario, golden pocket. Let's go into the golden pocket. Let's clear up all of that liquidity, maybe even all the way up to this high here. Let's just clear it all up in one go. That's kind of what I'm thinking. A crazy a fifth wave of this first wave, impulse all the way up. Let's take that liquidity. Let's clear out all of these trapped positions. And then we defend the next wave. We have an ABC corrective move, and then we reposition for the wave 3 of the higher time frame, and that will be the bullish, will be the big bull wave that we're looking for. That's the big impulsive wave that we're looking for, which is the wave 3. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now, and I don't know how this is going to play out. So we have to see how that plays out. And so we have to see also how impulsive this is. And obviously we're only just beginning. So naturally, you know, people are really fast to take their profits. That's fine. But I think as this starts moving, as the steam train starts moving forward, it's going to be very hard to stop it with just a few trigger fingers pressing sell. And we're only just moving the steam train. The train is only just moving. Once the train is moving really fast, then it'll be very hard to stop it. So so I've got those levels for you. Are there any questions? Anyone? No one? I feel like I'm alone. I did want to say something actually about TRVL, and that is this, that, you know, anyone who plays Texas Hold'em poker, you know that the odds of getting pocket aces pre-flop in your hand are like 1 in 300 or something like that. And then usually when people play Texas Hold'em pocket poker with a pre-flop aces, they're willing to go all in. They're willing to go all in pre-flop. Yeah, usually, most of the time. And most of them, because they have an 80% chance of winning, they're usually willing to go all in. Yeah, obviously it's only with a small amount of chips that they have in front of them. It's not their whole life savings. But the reality is that it's funny how with Texas Hold'em poker, people are willing to go in with an 80% chance of winning and a 20% chance of losing. It's very funny how people are willing to do that. And you get these high stakes poker games. People will get the pocket aces. Pre-flop, they're going to go all in. And even with pocket aces pre-flop, all in, you still have a 20% chance of losing. That's 1 in 5. For all the reasons out there, someone could have a runner straight or whatever, and it could always beat you. Yeah, it's a bad beat. That's Texas Hold'em poker. People are willing to go all in on a 20% chance of losing. So I just want to kind of contemplate, what's the chances of losing here? Is it 20%? It's a question, really. I'm not like saying, I'm not really giving percentages here. I don't know. But on a 20% chance of losing, people are willing to go all in on pocket aces pre-flop. And I'm just thinking to myself, what are the chances of losing here? I don't know. But when you put that, when you tie the idea of the technical analysis with everything else to do with Dtravel, the fundamentals of Dtravel, I think we're on a less, it's less than, it's way less than 20%. It's much less than 20%. It's, if you think about a peer-to-peer short stay vacation rental peer-to-peer booking engine built on the blockchain Web3, which works and hasn't been discovered by the larger part of the market yet. It's amazing, actually, just to think about what we have in our hands right now. It's I think it's better than pocket aces. Personally, I think I'd rather have this than pocket aces, because pocket aces still gives you a 20% chance of losing, whereas I think when you're looking at this and the context of Bitcoin and the halving and the fundamentals of the project and the growth of the project and the launch of the search engine, the AI driven powered search engine, the change of the tokenomics, the partnerships with the different chains and the different protocols to expand the network, the connection with Dtravel. So within the next, probably in the next 6 months, Dtravel listings are going to appear on Dtravel as apartments on their website. There's so much growth in this. It's, the potential is limitless, really. And then when you look at the short vacation stay rental market in the real world, it's, I don't know, it's a multi-billion dollar market. It's like hundreds of billions of dollars. It's huge. It's big. And here we're talking about a really small token. It's like a $10 million market cap token right now. So there's a lot of room for growth here. I think in my mind, I'm thinking a lot of people would go all in on pocket aces. And I think maybe we have better than pocket aces now. That's what I'm imagining. It's just a different way of viewing it, you know. So I think a lot of people are like thinking to themselves, oh no, I don't know about crypto. Oh no, but I know about Texas Hold'em. I know about poker. So I'm just laying it out. When it comes to poker, you got a 20% chance of losing. You go all in. I'm not saying you should go all in. And actually, what I'm saying, and I've been saying this all along, and I think people need to understand where I'm coming from, because I don't want to go on too long about it. But I mean, everything I'm doing is, I'm not telling people whether to buy or to sell or anything. I mean, it's all, most of what I'm doing is educational. And I'm just using all kinds of technical analysis to come up with ideas about the future. I'm looking at Japanese candle theory. I'm looking at candle patterns. I'm looking at volume levels. I'm looking at fib retracements and fib extensions and trend-based fib levels, and all kinds of higher time frame technical analysis to kind of make projections of future areas of resistance and support. And on the most part, if not all, it's basically, dare I say it, entertainment. Like, I'm having fun and I'm enjoying chatting to people, and hopefully people can learn something as well along the way. And none of what I'm saying is financial advice. So just be, I'm not suggesting people go all in. I'm just making analogies, and people have to decide for themselves what they want to do with what they have in front of them. All right. What else? Any other questions? All right. I was going to chart this new token